Hi, welcome to Frema Shows. Today we are going to cook Ghana brown rice. It's a bit complicated how to make it, but I'm going to show you the easiest way to make that rice. In Ashanti region, we call it Kyinkafa, and when you go to the northern part of Ghana, they call it Kyinkafa. So that's what we are going to make. First, we need onions, cauli, tomato paste, which is have leftover right here, nutmeg, comet and grove, chopped onion, which is the dry one. I have my shrimp powder, I have olive oil, and this is a ground ginger, garlic, and pepper. I have my nice boiled fresh tomatoes right here. I have coconut oil, which is I'm going to use later, and I also have salted fish, which is Kobe, but that will be used later. Then let's get started with our sauce. Now that our oil is a little bit warm, we're going to throw the onions in and stir it until it's a little bit tender side before we add the dry ingredients in it. Now that our onion is halfway done, I'm just going to add the dry ingredients, which is I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of curry, 2 tablespoons of nutmeg, 1 tablespoon of comet and grove, which is allspice. Alright, I'm going to stir it for a minute. That's a dry ingredient. Alright, I'm going to add about 4 tablespoons of chopped onion, which is the dry one, because it's also dry ingredient as well. And 4. I'm going to stir it for a minute. The dry ingredient is settled right now, as you can tell. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of shrimp powder. I'm going to let it cook for a few minutes as well. Our shrimp powder is also settled. As you can tell, the onion is halfway. The next thing is I'm going to put the pepper and ginger and garlic into it as well. That I'm going to let it cook for about, I would say about 5 minutes, since I didn't blend it and make it more watery. You know, I did it in a sanka, so it make it easier, simple and easy. Yeah. I'm going to cook it for about 5 minutes before I add my tomato paste as well. Now that our ginger, garlic, and pepper is also settled, this is how it looks. It looks brownish. That tells you that it's done. Sometimes you can even sneeze if the pepper is very hot. I'm going to add the rest of my leftover tomato paste, which is the same amount of this small can. So this is my leftover that I have in the fridge. I'm going to add it and stir it as well. Okay, I'm going to stir the tomato paste until it's also mixed as well before I add anything. As you can see, our tomatoes, diced tomatoes that the tomato paste that I mixed with is done. And when it's done in your stew, this is how it looks like. Make sure it's done before you add anything else in it. Okay, so now that it's done, I'm going to add about 6 spoons of fresh, ground and blend boiled tomatoes. Remember, it's the same sauce that I'm going to use half of it to cook the rice. So I'm going to let it cook. Then we get back to the main course, which is the brown rice, or what? How did they call it? Kyinkafa or Kyinkafa. Now we are going to cook our brown rice. Our brown rice is right here. It's right here. Now this is how we're going to process it, or how we're going to do it. I'm going to use about 3 big spoon of coconut oil. I'm going to make it melt down before I add the next ingredients. Now that the coconut oil is melt and look oily, I'm going to add my Kobe, which is saltfish. If you can use, normally they use palm kernel, which is ajumo, to make it, but I prefer to use coconut oil because of the good benefits and the health side. And I always say, Frema Shows, what I cook is what I feed my family and what I eat. So I want to make sure that what I cook is healthy. And as you know, I don't use Maggi, I don't use any artificial flavor. I use all natural ingredients. So I'm going to let it fry for a minute before I add the next ingredient. Now that our Kobe is settled, nice and steamed, as you can see, I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons of shrimp powder. The reason is I'm going to stir it and brown it. Yes, I'm going to stir it and make sure it's a bit brown before I add the tomato sauce. Now that our shrimp powder and the onion, the Kobe is settled, I'm going to add the tomato sauce in now. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to stir the tomatoes or the sauce until it's a bit brownish before I start cooking the rice. So don't go nowhere. I'm going to stir it for maybe a half an hour. Don't let it go. Keep on stirring it until it turns a little bit brown. Alright, as you can see, our stew is a little bit brown compared to the tomato sauce. You can tell the difference right now. This one is a bit brown. Alright, so we are going to start cooking our brown rice. I'm going to pour water into the sauce. Alright, and I'm going to take about 3 cups of rice. Let me get it closer so you know what I'm doing. This is our brown rice. So I'm going to take about 3 cups of our brown rice, or how do you call it, Kyinkafa. 3 cups. Alright, this rice needs to be really washed because of the way they process it, so don't go nowhere. I'll be right back. Okay, now that our sauce or water stew is boiling, it's ready for the rice. I've washed it. You can tell the difference between this and that. Yeah, you can tell the difference. It's pretty washed. Because of the way they process it, make sure you washed it really, really well. And remember, this is already clean, so it doesn't have any stone in it. This is specially made for me. Let's leave it to cook and I'll get back to you when it's done. I'm going to cover it and I'll get back to you when it's on. Welcome back to Frema Shows. Our brown rice or Kyinkafa or Kyinkafa is ready. Are you ready? Let's see. Wow, it looks great. Very appetizing. And this is how it looks. We are going to serve it. Remember, you were invited. Okay, so I'm going to put it in the flat plates like this. Cover it up and turn it around. I want it to look nice and neat. Voila. Okay, I'm going to put some beans. This is black eye beans, nice and cooked, ready to eat. Okay, and this is Gary. I don't think Gary has English name. Yeah, this is Gary, which is already mixed with water. I soak the Gary a little bit, not too much. And this is washito. People call it pepper sauce or something like that, but this is our washito. I'm gonna put it right here. All right. I hope you enjoy cooking with me. There's more to come. You're still watching Frema Shows. I do want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. It's bye-bye for me. Very appetizing. And I do enjoy cooking with you as well. I'll see you next time, the same time. Frema Shows. And it's bye-bye for me.